I love Full House. I love Fuller House. Like, there is nothing about the show or the character that I haven't embraced my entire career. Like, I love her as if she were my own sister. So I think it's wonderful. I've never shied away from it, and I'm so good with it. I'm more than good with it.
What's up, everyone? Victoria here with PopCulture.com. Today, I'm talking to the lovely and beautiful Candace Cameron Bure. It is so nice to see your face because every time I talk to you, it's always over the phone.
I know. Thank you. It's so good to see you. I'm doing great.
Well, it looks like you're doing great because that background looks great.
I know. It's pretty fabulous. I'm in Napa Valley, and this is part of the wine cellar.
Oh my God.
But the lighting's so pretty, so I do the interviews down here.
Yeah, well, you can't have a house in Napa Valley and not have a beautiful wine cellar. So
no,
you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Candace, it's been a few months since I've talked to you. I feel like I talked to you at the beginning of the pandemic, and I just want to check in with you and just see how you're doing. How's your 2021 going?
It's going pretty well, I will say, as far as family and work. We're in it. We're doing our thing. You know, there's certainly a heaviness just because of what's going on in the world. That part's hard. My heart's heavy a lot, but in the micro world of Candace and the Bure family, we are all very good. So thank you for asking.
I'm very happy to hear that. And yes, you are correct. There's a lot happening in our world right now that is just heart-wrenching. So trying to find the light in these moments can be challenging, but I'm happy that you and your family are doing well right now.
Thank you.
Upcoming things, and we're going to talk some Hallmark movies today because I love Hallmark, and you've got a new film coming out. We've got Aurora Teagarden mystery, Honeymoon, Honeymurder. Oh my goodness. Can we talk about this? And what keeps you coming back to Hallmark? Because you've done quite a few Hallmark films, and I love the Christmas films. What keeps you coming back to Hallmark?
Well, I mean, I have loved them, and I've created a beautiful partnership with them over the last 12, 13 years. So it's the only network I work for in television movies because our values line up. I love that they are all family friendly. They all have a happy ending. They're heartwarming. They're predictable in the best of ways. Yes. And that's what they're all about. That's why I keep coming back. And in this newest, it's crazy for me to think that this, I believe, is our 18th Aurora Teagarden mystery. And it's been 6 years, I believe, that we've been doing this movie series. And they're so much fun. First of all of these mysteries are family friendly. You can watch them with your kids because there's nothing gruesome, but they're really fun to figure out who's done it. Yes. And of course, Aurora Teagarden, she's finally married. In our last movie, we had the wedding, and then she's on her honeymoon now. And of course, it's only Aurora Teagarden that would find a body floating in the water while she's out on a romantic boat ride with her husband.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So this one, I mean, like, what a honeymoon. They go on the honeymoon, obviously expecting one thing, and they run into another. And I don't want to give out too many details because I don't want to spoil this for anyone. But kind of give us some bits here and there of what fans can look forward to in this one.
Well, all your favorites are back. We've had such a great cast for all of these movies. And of course, Mary Lou Henner's back as my mom. And in this one, they're actually on a pre-honeymoon. They kind of took a weekend in a cabin not too far from Lawrencetown where they live. Yeah. And so there's these connections with the body that they found to her mom's to Aurora's mom's work. Mm-hmm. And then also some interesting things going on in the neighboring cabin with this man's ex-wife and his stepson. And there's, of course, the boat rental owner, and there's some shady stuff going on. So Aurora and Nick, they cannot help themselves, and they have to put the pieces together to figure out how this man died.
Oh my gosh. Well, here's the thing. You bring up so many like valid points of Hallmark movies. I used to make fun of my mom for watching Hallmark, and now I'm an avid Hallmark watcher because I love that I don't have to stress in the films. There's already enough stress going on in life, period. I'm like, I just want to know that it has a happy ending. I just want good, clean television. You can watch it with the family. It's so good. And I just love these films. I love this one. I can't wait for your fans to see it. Candace, I have to say, you look absolutely stunning. And I know that your daughter, Natasha, it was her birthday, her 23rd birthday recently. And you shared a photo of you two, a couple photos on Instagram. And you are absolutely stunning. Like I looked at the photos, I was like,
you.
I cannot believe that this is a mother-daughter duo. You guys look like sisters.
Thank you.
What does it feel like to just look that good at being a mom?
I do feel a little bit of pride in the sense that I do feel like I got better with age. You know, I look back at some of the Full House episodes and photos, and while we could all say we were all cute teenagers or kids or whatever, I definitely feel like I've grown into my beauty. So that's a nice thing. But you know, my daughter is stunning. She's just beautiful, and her heart is just as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside, which is most important. And I just love that she still likes hanging out with me, and she'll do things with me. And those pictures we actually had taken for my clothing line, and she was like, sure, Mom, I'll be a model for you. Cause I'm like, I can't get a better model than you, baby. She knows how to do it. So that was a fun day to take those pictures together. And I just love her. She's a great girl.
Well, please tell her on behalf of PopCulture, we say happy birthday to her.
I will.
She's a star. Obviously, she gets it from her mom because you're like, you're goals, girl. You are goals.
Thank you.
Well, I want to get to your clothing line here in just a second. I can't talk to you and not talk a little Full House. You know, I've had the privilege of speaking with a number of people who are in positions that it's almost like they're just so known for that one role. It's so hard for them to kind of escape that. I mean, I've talked to cast members. I've talked to Tia and Tamara with Sister. I've talked to a number of people kind of in that world. And I can't help but to just be curious. Do you ever reach a point, you just have such a kind heart, but I can't help but to ask, do you ever have a point where you're just kind of like, I would like to separate myself a little bit from that. I would like to be seen maybe a little bit more as like this actress or maybe this fashion designer versus just DJ Tanner.
I actually don't think that at all. One, I do think I'm looked at in all those aspects. For the people that have followed me in my career, I feel like they know I am more than just DJ Tanner, but if that's all they know me as for the rest of my life, I'm so okay with that because I love DJ Tanner. I love Full House. I love Fuller House. Like there is nothing about the show or the character that I haven't embraced my entire career. Like I love her as if she were my own sister. So I think it's wonderful. I've never shied away from it. And I'm so good with it. I'm more than good with it.
Good. Well, and I hope I asked that correctly. Like, I don't want to make it sound like you're just known as DJ Tanner, but like every time, you know, the name Candace Cameron, you always think of Full House and Fuller House, DJ Tanner, and you know,
and it's the right association. It's really, I've played this character virtually my whole life because of coming back on Netflix with Fuller House, but I know how happy Full House and Fuller House make people. So again, I feel like DJ Tanner is so many people's big sister. And I love that. So when they're new fans and it's little kids that just started watching Full House or Fuller House, or it's fans my age or the parents that watched it with their kids when it was in prime time, I'm like, it's all good. You guys are keeping me. You are why I have a job. You are why I still get to make all of these things because you've loved and embraced that character. So how could I not love her?
I love to hear that. Well, we absolutely love you and we love DJ Tanner. Really quick, John Stamos had made a comment the other day saying that he feels that the whole like twins not returning, Mary Kate and Ashley not returning was blown a little bit out of proportion. Any thoughts on that?
No, I feel like it's old news. I agree with John. If that's what he said, I haven't heard the interview or read it yet, but yeah, that sounds about right. It just wasn't a big deal for us.
Yeah.
It was like everyone else made it a big deal.
Yes, makes sense. Usually fans get so attached to people they don't realize, and they've gone on to do such amazing things. So it's really, really cool to see how they've grown and flourished from the show. Talk about your clothing line. You are now selling this through QVC, correct?
Yes, it's exclusive to QVC, and it's so exciting. But speaking of the twins, you know, the clothing line debuted in April, and I had such a lovely text from Ashley. It was very sweet. She congratulated me and thought the clothes were wonderful, and it was a really sweet message and so encouraging because they are fashion icons and have done amazing things in the fashion industry. So it was quite the compliment. But yeah, so we are exclusive to QVC. We are inclusive sizing, which was so important to me to fit every body and shape. We have sizes from triple extra small to 5X, and from petites to regular. So everyone can wear these clothes. They are West Coast casual and lots of things that, I mean, everything that I wear and that I love, and lots of bright colors, and they're feminine pieces, but there's also a modesty factor. So you're not going to spill out of things, or they're not going to be too short. It's like, you know, these are wearable everyday clothes, and you can dress them up into as much dressy casual as you want to be.
Well, I was looking through some of the line, and you just have some amazing pieces. Like now I can't help but to go get some. And I love that they're made in such a way, because some women, without getting too much into it, but like some women like myself have struggled to find certain tops that fit a certain way, to the point where you don't look a certain way when you're wearing it. And so it is really nice to have that full coverage and to have something that's casual. What was the inspiration for this collection?
The inspiration is really my life and love of fashion and living on the West Coast. I was born and raised in LA. I still live in LA and Northern California as well. And there's always an easy vibe to it. And yet the colors that we use, I think that's one of the most fun elements of the collection, is that we have lots and lots of bright, fun colors, as well as all of those staple neutrals that are always there and available. But the colors are always kind of based on what I consider the West Coast sunsets, and we have the mountains and the ocean. I mean, all right here. So I look at the exterior surrounding and really feel those textures and colors and put those into the collection.
Yeah. I like the bright colors, girl. The bright colors are so fun.
Thanks.
Well, I want to talk to you really quick before I let you go. Skip one. I want to talk about the foundation, why this was a must for you. You're skipping something coming up, and kind of give us like a background as to why this was important for you.
Yeah, so Skip One is a nonprofit organization, and we build kitchens in orphanages and schools all over the world, as well as right here in the US. And we work very closely with the homeless community. And Skip One was birthed by one of my best friends, Shalene Bryan. She's the founder, and I've been on the board for over 10 years from its inception. And what the whole concept is of skipping. Can you skip something and sacrifice maybe your lunch and have that money go toward feeding a child? So it's not just about having extra money in reserve, that it's like, because I get it. Some people are like, I don't have an extra $5 or $10 or $100 to donate, or I have another charity that I want to donate my money to. But it's more than that. It's really about feeling the sacrifice. And sometimes it's not even that much of a sacrifice when you're like, could I just skip my manicure this week? Could I skip that and give that $40, and it's going to go feed a school of children, and it might be their only meal the entire day. And so I love this. So the whole month of September, we call it Skip-tember.
Yes.
So you just pick a day in September. And I like to use my birth date in terms of the day. Like I'm born on April 6th, but I say, okay, I'm on the 6th of the month. So on April 6th, that's going to be my skip day. And I'm not sure, I usually always skip a meal on my birthday and again, donate that money instead. But I always skip something a little bigger than that on my birthday as well. Yeah. And it's really easy. The one great thing is it's skip1.org is the website, and 100% of your donation goes directly to feeding the children and the homeless community. So it's underwritten for any of the other organizational costs. Yeah. So I love that that 100% of your money is going exactly where we say it is, and that's into the mouths of kids.
Well, that's amazing, because I mean, when I think about like even my life and some of my friends, like we do spend money on ourselves in ways that, you know, are very luxurious and we take it for granted. But if we can just sacrifice one or two things, you know, to be able to give it to somebody else, and for families that, you know, aren't able to do it in that position, the thought came in my head. I was like, well, if you go and like, you know, let's say you're in the drive-thru getting fast food or something, maybe instead of getting the combo meal, you get, you know, a portion of the meal, and then whatever you would spend normally on the combo, you can donate those extra dollars, you know.
Exactly.
Because every dollar counts. So
it does.
I think that's really amazing, Candace. You are just always a pleasure to talk to. You have a heart of gold. Thank you so much for your time, Candace. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thanks for this. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Everyone, for more on Candace Cameron Bure, make sure you head over to popculture.com. Until next time, we'll see you then.